I did say, there's this band called Oasis and they're going to be absolutely amazing, you know, and lo and behold, not that I'm Nostradamus or anything, but amazing to hear them the first time. I never went on the lash with them, but I was with them and had a couple of beers whilst working, you know. Although the golden rule is to get the work done first and then empty both 6 guns into the ceiling. Hiya, my name's Tom Sheehan and this is my book, Roll With It, a book on Oasis, and I'm going to talk you through some of my favourite pictures. This is a picture of Noel in Loco Studios in Wales, and I can't remember the song that he was writing, but there he was, just on a Saturday afternoon, scribbling down words. It's a creative thing, but it's an individual creative thing, so obviously he was writing on his own, so obviously when the words are all done, I guess, suggest them to the band, however bands work, and they will add their own threatenswoof, you know, instrumentally, and however they work out the music. When you see people working, you kind of like tend to leave them alone and let them do their thing, and then when they're done, they'll talk to you. But you know, you don't want to break into any thought mode that they have on because they're creating. But at that point in time, it wasn't anything sacred. We weren't at a mass or something, you know what I mean? It was just like, you know, I'm going to write these lyrics, you know, change some. You don't even notice, you know, if you're talking to someone and they start going, scribbling away, crossing things out, you're not even aware of what they're doing because you're just having a general conversation. I've been in studios where you wouldn't dare take a picture because it is so precise, you know, whatever's going on, because it might be a bigger setup than someone changing their lyrics, you know. This might be some, oh yeah, some might say, I just took the photograph because it was on the side and there it was, and I just thought, just to document it, our 2 days in Loco Studios in Wales, you know, so it's, you just like pick up a load of stuff, just a load of material that you can use from time to time, you know. Might not use it then, but you might use it down the line. The very first time it blew my socks off because it was in Abbey Road, just up the road there. Stop you in the tracks, you know. It's like, wow, this is amazing. So much vitality. And so much so, you know, it struck such a chord because when I went home, I told my wife about them. And bearing in mind, we've been together 35 years and all I've done is work in music since 1975. I don't often do that because she wouldn't be interested. Why should she be? But I did say, there's this band called Oasis and they're going to be absolutely amazing. And lo and behold, not that I'm Nostradamus or anything, but yeah, amazing to hear them the first time. If you were 12, 14, 15, 16, up to 20, it would have been even more powerful. But I listened to them with seasoned ears that weren't quite jaded at that time. We went out for a wander on the Saturday afternoon and there was this ridiculous shop selling with 2 mannequins in with a bride and groom in. We just thought we'd get a happy snap. So I just had one of those little pocket cameras and went snap, snap. You know, so it's just a stupid shot. There was a cafe called Oasis Cafe. I said, throw yourself against the door of the cafe. I went, no, I'm not doing that, Tommy, I'm not doing that. So, and then we walked about a step and I went, what about these? And well, all right then. I don't ask them to do daft things, you know, everything is kind of relevant to the piece I'm shooting, you know. But obviously, if a happy snap comes along like that, it's just good fun, you know. It's just like part of the day out, and then we went for a beer, you know. So yeah, I remember it well. I never went on the lash with them, but I was with them and had a couple of beers whilst working, you know. Although the golden rule is to get the work done first and then empty both 6 guns into the ceiling. These shots were taken backstage pre-sound check in, it might have been Toronto, somewhere in Canada, and I just flew there specifically to take some pictures for what was Melody Maker's 70th anniversary issue, because the Maker had a good relationship with the band, me being one of them, a face. If there's a title and there's someone coming to interview them or photograph them, they know them, whoever it is, it just makes life easier for all concerned. The Maker were going to run a cover, and then we approached Creation. They said yeah. They weren't going to do an interview. Some people were going to write pieces about Oasis, but to tie it all together would be the chaps filling in a stupid sheet saying favourite film, favourite book, favourite whatever, and then on the way over I thought, how can we illustrate it? And I thought, oh, why not just get them to paint their favourite record on their hand? So I went and bought some paintbrushes. Noel painted Liam's and Liam painted Noel's. And I don't know if, I think Bonehead did Gwigsy, and that's how it was done. So it was a simple shot, each one of them going like that. It was daft, but it worked. Yeah, this was at Nebworth, and it was like a photo call for all the press, the world's press. And basically, the chaps came, about half a mile away in the background, come out from the stage. They stopped about 300 yards away, and we're all going, oh, come closer, come closer. And they come up, and they're standing there like dorks, there's about 5 of them stood there. And I go, oh, for God's sake, do something, chaps. And then they went into this kind of, bundle stroke scrum, and everybody, the cameras just went, and I got some, and this is it, There are some missing, actually. Some have gone astray, but this is just a documentation of that photo call, press call. And really the gig, I didn't shoot the gig because I saw some of it, but I was working with the Charlatans. And so I was with them, I shot them there, and that was the time when we'd just lost Rob. So it was quite emotional for the chaps. And we went out and saw some of Oasis. I didn't shoot anything because it weren't my gig, it as were. But obviously brilliant. It was legendary in itself because they were playing 2 nights to, was it 50,000 or 100? Was it 50,000 a day or something? So that's some colossal amount of people in there, It was just like amazing, I suppose there will be people around now telling their kids of 10 years of age that I was at Nebworth, when they take them to wherever, do you know what I mean? It's just one of those things in rock and roll history. All the pictures that I got, they're not throwing shapes, or anybody's got, they stand their ground kind of thing. I mean, there are obviously pictures where they're horsing around, but 90% of pictures of Oasis will be like almost on their own terms. This picture with the umbrella was shot for a session for the NME. The designer at the NME at the time had this idea where he wanted portraits or duo shots of the band. He would then take it to artwork and recreate something like the famous pictures of the Beatles by Richard Avedon. So we did a load of pictures. I shot this for the NME because the Melody Maker had closed, and they took me on as like carrying a community at the NME. And once again, they probably sent me down because they knew that I'd be economical with their time, so as they could get in and out. This was just like a group shot at the end, and God knows where the umbrella came from. Maybe it was one of theirs. I mean, maybe it was in the studio, and just like I did some shots against the plain background, and this umbrella was there. So, well, chaps, why don't we use this? And it's like, if they're amenable to a little bit of horsing around, but nothing too severe, so be it. So that's how it came about. It's just a really simple, and a change from the shot that we'd done in the past, previously on that couple of hours we were there. But also in the back of my mind, there was a famous picture of the Beatles on a wall with big umbrellas from stands from tables. So there's a little kind of a nod to that kind of thing, which it's a bit like if you're a band and you're influenced by someone, there's going to be a few chords that you steal, and from photographers, we just kind of steal little visual puns. Some people get it, some people don't. It doesn't matter. It's that kind of little bit kind of, ha-ha, I wonder if anybody noticed. That's my last time I shot them, which was a million years ago. People have lived and died in that time. There's no nostalgia, I don't think. It's more like remembering the times, or just that was great. That was great. It all depends on the results you come out with. Any photographer will say that the good day is when you come out and you go, oh, nailed that one, and then you can go, hurrah. That's it. You just kind of, if you're happy with what you got, there's no need to bother the band for another couple of minutes, couple of hours, or however long. Just get what you want. Get in, plant the bomb, get out, nail it, over and out. I don't think at the last encounter I could see the wheels coming off at all, no. I think it's more just seeing the band, If there was any public display, I don't think it was there for the cameras, I mean, I think it was probably genuinely felt, but everybody gets a bit fed up with each other. But, the kind of dramatisation of a breakup of this lot, or a marriage or whatever, it's just like, it happens, whether it's, a band, or whether it's a husband and wife or partner and partner, whatever, you know, they're the things that, all that kind of stuff really doesn't matter to me. I'm not bothered about private lives, their private lives, or anybody's private life. I'm just interested in the music and the photography. That is it. I'm very boring that way because I've got so much stuff to think about. I don't want to worry about people's personal problems, you know, and let them be. I'm a great believer in privacy, certainly with public figures, you know, because they spend enough time parading themselves, doing their work, you know, just give them 5 minutes. But there again, you could probably go to a pub, and if one of the Herberts were in there, you know, you could sit and have a chat maybe and have a drink, talk about a record.